This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. 3 shot dead in Westmoreland at start of 2022. The parish of Westmoreland that has been plagued by numerous murders leading up to the end of 2021 continued on a bloody trend into the new year by recording the first double murder in Jamaica along with a single killing. Those killed have been identified as a 28-year-old Derek Sterling, laborer of Retreat Community, 22-year-old Tajay Stewart, and the 29-year-old Damar Martin, both unemployed of Fraserland in Cornwall Mountain and all in Westmoreland. Reports from the police are that shortly after 2 a.m., Stewart and Martin had just finished celebrating the fact that they lived to see the new year and were in the process of leaving the premises when they were ambushed and shot several times by an armed man. Both men were pronounced dead at hospital. Prior to that, gunmen struck at a location in Negril, leading to Sterling being shot and killed while riding his motorcycle about 1:30 a.m. The Negril police reported that Sterling and a pillion were traveling on his black motorcycle along a section of the roadway when they were approached by 2 men traveling on another motorcycle. The men opened fire, hitting Sterling, who lost control of the motorcycle, which overturned. The pillion managed to escape unhurt, while one of the gunmen jumped onto Sterling's motorcycle and sped off. Westmoreland and St. James have been named as the 2 bloodiest parishes for 2021. Women's rights champion Dr. Glenda Sims has died. Former executive director of the Bureau of Women's Affairs, Dr. Glenda Sims has died in Ottawa, Canada. She passed away on New Year's Eve. Sims was reportedly ailing with Lou Gehrig's disease and dementia. A renowned feminist, Sims catapulted to prominence in 1990 when she became the first black woman to be appointed president of the Canadian Advisory Council on the Status of Women. She was also founding member and the president of the Congress of Black Women of Canada before convincing Gender Affairs Minister Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller in 1995 that she had the ability to position the Bureau of Women's Affairs as a more influential institution in the society. During her tenure, the Bureau reviewed 42 pieces of legislation, which Sims noted then were pieces of law needed to help remove systematic barriers that worked against women and girls. In 2004, Sims was awarded the Order of Distinction in the office class for outstanding work in gender development. As Sims championed the rights of women, she will be remembered for her famous quote, "Feminism is when you can differentiate between yourself and a doormat." Sims, who was originally from St. Elizabeth, returned to her parish after and went into farming after leaving the corporate world. She is survived by 3 children, including a daughter Michelle, with whom she lived. 1.2 million COVID-19 vaccine doses administered in 2021. Jamaica ended its 2021 COVID-19 vaccination program with a little more than 1.2 million doses administered. Vaccinations began in March last year, and according to a statement from the Ministry of Health and Wellness, 637,064 shots administered up to the end of the year were first doses, while there were 491,485 second doses and 75,402 single doses. So far, 4,834 booster doses have been administered. Vaccination sites will be closed Saturday and Sunday, but will reopen on Monday. 2 charged in Red Stripe robbery probe. The police have charged 2 people in connection with last week's massive robbery at the Red Stripe Brewery in Spanish Town Road in Kingston. The 2, both wholesale operators from the corporate area, are charged with receiving stolen property. 4 other suspects remain in custody pending further investigations, while 3 have been released. The 2 accused are Alonzo Smith, 32, also called the Fat Man, and Bliss from Ebenezer Avenue, and Susan Hapisha Jackson, 34, from Bond Street, downtown Kingston. Police say 104 cases of red stripe bear and 28 cases of Dragon Stout were recovered at the Smith's establishment. Investigators allege that Smith received and distributed all the stolen liquor. Detectives recovered 705 cases of Red Stripe at Jackson's establishment. It is alleged that she purchased more than 900 cases of the stolen liquor. The 9 people were detained between last Monday and Wednesday as the St. Andrew South police probed the $8 million robbery. A Freightliner truck, reportedly one of 2 used in the heist, has also been seized by the police. Reports said about 2 a.m., a gunman reportedly managed to get onto the Spanish Town Road premises, held up the security guard, and tied him with a piece of telephone cord. The man then reportedly opened the main entrance of the facility, allowing 2 vehicles to steal the liquor. Woman cries after being remanded on New Year's Eve. It was a bittersweet moment on Friday for 2 female friends who found themselves behind bars following an alleged attempt to smuggle contraband into a lockup after one was granted bail and the other left in tears when she was remanded. 20-year-old Jada Smith was offered bail in the sum of $80,000 on a charge of unlawful possession, while Trishana Bloomfield was remanded on the same charge when they appeared in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court. "My mother just died and I'm me alone to take care of my little brothers. If me did know, me wouldn't do this. Me wouldn't make she carry it." Bluefield cried, pleading for a pardon from the judge. Both women were arrested and charged on Wednesday with unlawful possession and attempting to smuggle contraband into a penal institution after a cellular phone as well as quantities of ganja and tobacco were found among food that was reportedly being delivered by Smith to Bluefield's boyfriend at the lockup at the Halfway Tree police station. The court heard that the contraband was placed inside a container, which was sandwiched by 2 containers with a meal, and that Bloomfield had fled the station when the contraband was discovered. However, on Friday, when the matter was mentioned, the prosecution advised the court that they were withdrawing the attempt to smuggle contraband charge against both accused, as a lockup was not classified as a correctional facility under the law. Smith, through her lawyer, then maintained that she was not aware that the contraband was in the food package. Her attorney at law, Courtney Foster, told the parish judge, Luciana Jackson, that her client thought she was doing a favor to her friend, who had reportedly asked her to deliver the food because she did not have an identification card. "It is really a sad set of circumstances. She is only 20 and has never been before the court," Foster added, although acknowledging that there were certain precautions that her client should have taken but was ignorant of. Bloomfield, for her part, admitted that she had asked Smith to take the food, but indicated that it was her boyfriend's relative who had given her the meal, adding that she was not aware of the presence of the contraband. She also rejected reports that she had fled the station. According to her, she had been suffering from diarrhea since the night prior and felt that she was about to have an episode inside the station, so she rushed to her house, which she said was close to the station. The judge queried why she went to the station, knowing that she was unwell. Bloomfield, however, insisted that she did not flee and said that she had given the same explanation to the police when she was arrested, which was corroborated by the investigating officer. The judge then inquired from Bloomfield if she had a lawyer and found out that she was already facing a charge of illegal possession of firearm and ammunition when she was arrested and was being represented by attorney-at-law Leroy Equiano via a legal aid assignment. Bloomfield, however, told the court that she was only charged because the weapon, which she said belonged to her boyfriend, was found at her home. The judge, however, told her that in light of the fact that she committed another criminal offense while on bail and had reportedly fled from the station, bail would not be considered for her at this time. Bloomfield was instead told to settle legal representation and return to court on January 25. More aviation schools being set up to train pilots locally, said Montague. The government has kick-started a drive to have more aviation institutions developed to get more Jamaicans trained locally for the airline industry, especially as pilots. The disclosure was made by Transport and Mining Minister Robert Montague while on tour of the Tinsum Penn-based Aeronautical School of the West Indies in St. Andrew last week. Montague said 2 institutions are already going through the application process for certification. If successful, the new institutions will join the ASWI, which was recently certified by the Jamaica Civil Aviation Authority. According to Montague, some 3,000 persons from Jamaica are in South Florida in the United States doing pilot training. However, he said he wants to see that number reduced in the future, and as such, a drive is now underway to get more persons trained locally. The aim is to get a lot of those Jamaicans home to be trained here. Jamaican pilots are known for their skills and technical ability, said Montague. He noted that with training being offered at the ASWI, the Transport Ministry is hoping that this will enable more Jamaicans to be trained locally. Further, he said over 60,000 pilots are needed globally. Montague said the JCAA is seeking to certify the 2 other organizations to increase training in that area, as it is much cheaper to be trained in Jamaica, and the persons can start at a younger age when the training is done in the island. Additionally, he said the ministry is pushing to have more landing strips and more Jamaicans owning airplanes, as the COVID-19 pandemic is forcing more persons to do their own flying. Having a plane is not a luxury, it is now a necessity, he said, adding that more landing strips will be approved to increase the flights locally. Montague further stated that he has asked the ASWI to increase aviation knowledge across the island, and they have risen to the occasion by designing a flight simulator. He said the simulator is to be taken to schools and to rural areas, and the Airports Authority of Jamaica is to offer scholarships to some persons living close to aerodromes to further expand the aviation industry locally. Meanwhile, the minister shared that the government has invested hundreds of millions to build pilot lounges at aerodromes and improve the runways and other amenities at the facilities, as well as untrained, and has employed air traffic controllers. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.